Welcome everyone. Decision on location. So in this lesson, mainly we talk about the what are the main factors actually you are deciding actually as a businessman. What are the main factors which actually based on your decision location. So basically, nuclear power station. Like if you are making this kind of organization, I think you must have the first of all the government approval and other several things, and also must have a location. Far away from the residential houses because sometimes contamination can be happen. Sometimes you must have access to water because you must need a cooling plant. So natural resources, sorry, weather reports, everything there stable, weather and the land surface, everything. There are so many factors to consider. So we talk about that. And right now, the main trend of the business is the organizations are operating online. So therefore, there is no location decision on internet. Therefore, a lot of actually professionals like uh, consultants, tutors, lawyers, engineers, and so many things they operate. Even retailers also operate online. Therefore, location decision is not that much of a issue right now because if you are operating online. In this lesson, we're going to talk about that as well. Normally, the location decision main factors which decided our location. Another we talk about first of all proximity or closeness to the market. Like if you are doing something, the closeness is really important. The if you want to start a business, we have to consider especially the market, the customer. The customer base is really important to organization because their transport costs. You can give parking facilities. Availability of customer. That's why you do a selected market segment. Sometimes proximity means closeness to market is really important, especially for selling business. When you're selecting a physical location, that's really important. And after that, we talk about the proximity to labor, also important, especially manufacturing business, which is like a large amount of labor. So you need to have the availability of the labor in that area because it's important to, for example, items which industries like garment factories, right, automobile industries, and some industrial zones. There are so many. Proximate labor is important because they need sometimes transportation services, shuttle services are providing. So for the labor, so proximity to labor, easy to that closeness to labor is really important in some industries, especially manufacturing industries, right? Service sector is not like that because service sector we need minimum like organizations. So most of the service business are normally located actually like banks and insurance companies, advertising firms, everything. We need no need that much of labor. So, but I mean, labor intensive businesses, you have to think about especially like proximity of labor is really important factor. Another thing, proximity materials, that closeness to materials. Some organizations, especially primary sector, secondary sector businesses, they organize operating material is really important. For example, if it's a canned fish business, must have location distance should be near to the sea, right? And if the organization actually doing the, let's say, a yogurt company, must be able to like locate near to the dairy farms because then easily they can get the materials, raw materials that you want. Yogurt companies, ice cream companies, chocolate companies, like that. You must think about these factors as well, like the availability of the raw materials from the industry, especially chemical, everything's are there, right? And talk about the proximity to competitors. Sometimes some organizations they wanted to go near to the competitors because some items are there. People actually closely concentrated. They are, for example, we call this comparison shopping is popular. Sometimes comparison shopping people like to, for example, when they are going to buy textiles, shoes, right? These things must be able to. They wanted to compare. They don't want to buy one shop. They want to go to different shops and they want to compare and buy. Therefore, like for example, like shopping malls and everything, you can see there are so many shops are located. So a lot of people actually going this shop to that. Then only after going to like a 5, 6, 7, 8 shops, only they are purchasing like one or two items from that because comparison shopping is really important. That's why like shopping malls, sometimes some floors dedicated to certain shops. So say textile shops, jewelry shops, like mobile phone, tabs, computer shops like that. So the certain industries are there located close by because then organizations, if you locate close by, I mean customers can easily access and they can come and they can actually can compare the goods and services. Then they can go for their decision. There's a advantage. Sometimes a lot of people thinking having competition nearby is a disadvantage. No, sometimes this is advantage. Why? Because a lot of customers will be, you can attract to that place. For example, if you have operating a textile shop, then you actually say downtown. Then in the street we have another 5-6 showrooms are there, like competitors are there. Then people will definitely visit to that place because they know, okay, if you want to buy clothes, this is a street. Let's go to downtown and let's buy. Like that. So availability of competition is really important. For example, then the excess demand is there. They can definitely everyone gets some kind of a demand, and also you can actually, by providing a unique selling point, some differentiate your product, and you can get the like a lot of demand for you. That's the proximity to competitors. And also we talk about mainly these are the proximity to market, proximity to competitors, proximity to materials, proximity to labor. So we're discussing this case study. Renault. Renault was a the Italian manufacturer, like Renault vehicle, French motor car manufacturer. Renault has a factory in Tangier, and it's of 2 low-cost brands in the Renault. So now they actually moving their manufacturing plant to Morocco in Tangier. And Morocco, there are reasons are there for this is because you can see from the bottom, you can see the official, sometimes the commercial language is Morocco, the French language. So one feature, because then even though Renault is a French automobile designer, then they can easily they can actually command the language. There is no barrier from the language, because same language they are using in Morocco also. And sometimes they have a stable government, and then there is a infrastructure, like we see airports and everything, and the supports and everything. Economic growth is stable, and improved infrastructure in that country. Infrastructure level is good. So strategic geographical location for manufacturers like that. So there are certain positive points are there in the Renault factory in Morocco. They're asking 2 questions. Discuss the possible reasons for Renault's decision to locate factory in Tangier, and what are the possible benefits to Morocco of Renault's decision to locate factory in Tangier. So mainly possible reason for this location, and asking another thing, possible benefits of this location decision, reasons and the benefits. Okay, let's go to this marking scheme and see what is the main Renault benefits from this. Discuss the possible reasons for Renault decision to locate in factory in Tangier. Okay, Leon, can you read this answer, please?
So the case study Renault.
Yes. Question number 1.
Okay. Discuss the possible reasons for Renault's decision to locate a factory in Tangier. Manufacturers need to consider factors such as the cost of land, transport, labor costs, and skills, proximity to the market, and whether there is any government help when locating factories. In this case, Renault has recently built a factory in Tangier. One attraction of Morocco is that in an area of North Africa where political disturbance is common, Morocco is seen as a politically stable location. Businesses will clearly avoid location in countries where disruption from political change is a potential risk. Tangier is also a thriving port and just 10 miles, 16 kilometers away from the large European market. This was important to Renault since most of the factory's output in Tangier is intended for export. Economic growth in Morocco is currently high, around 5% in 2016. The people are becoming wealthier. This means that demand for Renault's cars is likely to increase. Morocco has improved its infrastructure in recent years. For example, Tangier is recently linked by motorways and railways to industrial parks. Indeed, Renault has its own direct rail link to the port. Morocco has also provides a strategic geographical location for manufacturers. It is at the crossroads of the world's most important sea links. Finally, Renault is a French company, and French is the commercial language of Morocco. This may have been a factor when choosing Tangier as a location.
Thank you. So mainly, this is the given list of factors which is available in the case study. So the Morocco, when you're going to relocate the factory into the Morocco, they have given all these 6 factors mentioned in the case study have mentioned again. So this is the thing. Then when you're answering this kind of a question, use the application always. Application means the facts and figures given in the case study. Then you can use and you can improve the quality of your answer there, right? So what are the 2 possible benefits of Morocco? It's like it's a 6-mark question. Analyze 2 benefits of Morocco by the benefits for the host country. This is the Morocco, right? Not for the Renault. This is benefits to Morocco of Renault's decision to locate the factory. This is kind of a benefits to a multinational company, because Renault is a multinational firm. So asking possible benefits to country where it is the host of the multinational firm this decision, right? For example, you can see like when you're writing this kind of question, you can talk about the government might get in the tax benefits from this company, and employees might get the job opportunities, and then they will get the high income from their working, and then their quality of life will increase. And technology, transfer of technology from high developed countries, low developing countries like HIC to LIC, high income country, low income country, like that. So there are certain advantages are there. Two possible advantages. We'll see the marking scheme. So the possible benefits for the Morocco. In this case, you can see the question number 2. What are the 2 possible benefits to Morocco of Renault's decision? They mentioned the most governments are keen for foreign businesses to locate the operation in their countries. The benefits can be substantial. For example, in this case, the Renault is well created, a lot of job opportunities for the people living in around the Tangier. And initially, while the factory was being built, jobs have been created too for construction workers. Once the factory was operational, large number of factory workers would have been needed. In addition to this, Moroccan-based suppliers of components and commercial services would have benefited, right? Which would have created even more jobs. So then this create the income for these people and hopefully improve the living standard. This is the first paragraph entire about the how actually the employment opportunities and how to uplift their standard of living, everything. Look at the second paragraph. Government also likely benefit from the new factory. This is because any profit made from the Renault from the operation of the plant are likely to be taxed by the Moroccan government. And these tax revenues can be used to fund the more public services such as education and new infrastructure. This is like the 6-mark question, but even this kind of a question, like we remember in multinational firms, we discussed this question. Like we can say even 12-mark questions also can be, we can ask like that, evaluate the possible impacts from the Morocco or to the economy of Morocco for Renault's decision to locate the factory. In this case, you can take 2 advantages like this, and however points also then you can write however points. Sometimes they will do, even though they're providing job opportunities, sometimes they might exploit the labor, or sometimes they might give low salaries for them. Then sometimes they might do environmental pollution, these things, and sometimes even though they're paying the tax to the government, they are repatriating the profit back to the France, right? So this is there, the multinational firm always doing repatriation of profit. Right, and sometimes they're paying low tax to the government, they can manipulate using transfer pricing. So then you can say the conclusion also, like you can say they are, however, the government must try to control these things, environmental pollution, exploitation of labor, and these things, malpractices must be able to control by tightening up the rules and regulations. That's why we need the government like that. So you can, however point, you can say at the conclusion, like a 12-mark structure also, this kind of a question we can ask, right? So that's why location decision thing, you can link with the certain things. Always the location is a 12-marker thing. Like when multinational firms also, this question also like a 12-marker question, very have more potential of asking for 12 markers like benefits for economy context, right? And next question, you can see the other factors, the nature of the business activities. Like normally there are certain business activity natures are there. Some businesses are service sectors, some business office-based businesses, some businesses manufacturing and processing businesses, and some businesses are agriculture-based businesses, right? So mainly we're talking about these facts and figures. Like the nature on the business is a really important factor when deciding a location. Service business, usually you have mainly, for example, service business example you can see is it can be hospital, it can be a marketing firm, advertising, right? Or sometimes banking, insurance company, sometimes service provider. It can be a everything. It can be a salon. It can be a, right? So many service providers are there. So what you have to think when you're locating a service location, it can be a lawyer, it can be engineering house, law, tutoring. You think about the parking facilities first of all, because when a lot of people come to get their services, parking is important. Traffic congestion is a growing problem in many parts of the world. Therefore, you have to think about especially these things, the location must be built through the parking facilities in prominent. And also some providers like a located specialist shopping areas like shopping malls, shopping like parks, centers, malls, because definitely you have all that facility. Sometimes ground floor dedicated for car parking, and these are usually designed to easy access and contain very large number of outlets, right? Office-based businesses, like if you have a office-based business such as creative marketing, consultancy, financial services, customer service provision, business activities, office-based normally, there are some facilities such as restaurants, cafes, hotels nearby is important because these people have needs, office-based people, for lunch hours. Sometimes they want to go for a restaurant to have their lunch. So these are important. So therefore, when you're operating some office buildings are there, for example, World Trade Center, you can see there are certain office building complexes are there only for their rent out for office. Sometimes the top apartments they are giving for the residential houses, sometimes penthouses and everything. But office complexes are there along with the shopping malls. There are some office centers are there. So very important. All the offices are sometimes you can see every country. You can see USA, you can see the Twin Towers, right? And then Sri Lanka, we have a World Trade Center, another Twin Towers. Like that, there are it's very important to have this office-based business, nice location, a decent location where sometimes you can meet the clients, right? Office-based, like ticketing office. Sometimes it can be a share market, or it can be some ministry, government ministries. So this can select these offices like a nice and very attractive location, like easily access, like in the city of the middle of the city. Sometimes, so these important facilities must be there. So availability of such facilities are there. For example, as I told you, the theater, cinema, museums, nightclubs, bars, sports stadiums located in the high-profile cities such as London, Paris, Dubai, New York, and also improve the image of the business, right? And also manufacturing and processing business definitely must go, not like residential location. You must manufacturing processing, you must go for a business like a zone. We call BOI zone, Board of Investment. Sometimes industrial zones are there. In every country, I think there are industrial zones. In Sri Lanka also, we have industrial zones in Koggala, Katunayaka, Horana, Homagala, some cities they have so many industrial zones, especially garment factories, chemical factories, and food processing industries are located in these industrial zones. So easily this should be definitely because the noise pollution there, air pollution coming sometimes, water pollution, because that's why if you locate these factories in a residential location, there are so many bad impacts are there. But if your manufacturing locations you are separately located in some certain industrial zones, you can actually you can minimize the impact to the society and the environment. As a result of that, for example, power generations and also oil refineries located in the coast and the same reason, because you can easily like crude oil and everything you can take from the transfer straight from the ships to refining plants and occupy coastal locations. Like in Sri Lanka also we have like that, like Colonnava, straight away they are doing this, transferring this oil from the ship, and then they are going to refine it. And then these are the main important thing, like I think about the manufacturing processing, availability of labor, availability of materials, everything. Agriculture industry, definitely I'll think about the soil, think about the climate factor, right? So because some agricultural crops are not growing in every climate factor, right? So dry climate, sometimes some crops are growing like paddy and everything. In dry climate is suitable, but vegetables and fruits, normally it's better to have the climate like in really like, very cold climates are suitable. So that's why sometimes in the some agricultural field they are certain, for example, like a tea and coffee and everything, they are growing in the hill country because of this reason, because they need some kind of a different climate condition. But the other hand, the dry climate conditions, like we can see a lot of paddy fields available in the dry zone in Sri Lanka because of that agricultural, the weather patterns and the availability of water, everything I think about that fact. So therefore, based on the type of the industry, the nature of the industry, your activities will be different, your location would be different. Okay. Let's look at this case study. Case study is restaurant location. You can see this case study, the Abdul Jafar plans to open the seafood restaurant in Manama, the capital of Bahrain. And he wants to target the business customers working in the financial quarter of the city. And he has raised some money and has found a specialist seafood chef who has agreed to lead the team in the kitchen. I found out like labor. And then Abdullah has also been spending some time trying to find the perfect location for the business. Okay, and he wants to find premises and already suitable for opening a restaurant. He is considering a location close to where the number of other restaurants are operating, because sometimes there's a comparison shopping. When restaurants also, people would like to go the place where other restaurants also available, right? And premises occupied by a recently failed restaurant have become available. However, he is concerned about the competition in the area. right? If you go to like a shopping mall, like One Golf Face, it can be the Liberty Plaza, it can be Majestic City, and it can be Colombo City Center, right? If you, it can be the Burj Khalifa, it can be the, right, anything, right? Dubai or Sri Lanka or US or Paris, you can see the food courts are available in different foods are available in different uh, uh, like a different Thai food, Indian food, Malay food, in like Sri Lankan food, right? Like European foods are available. So people like to actually go to different like restaurants to get some different experiences. In this case, they're asking two questions. What factors with Abdullah need to make into account when deciding whether to locate the seafood restaurant? You two factors in your analysis. And second one, why might business such as Abdullah Seafood Restaurant deliberately choose to locate close to competitors? Because if you do business alone, that you can't expect that much of customers are coming for your business, because people like to go to the food zone, like food courts. They want to actually, sometimes they want to experience, they want to see the comparison, different food, different. They can see the menus and everything. Then they can select, okay, let's go to this restaurant and let's go for the dining there. Okay, let's see the marking scheme for these two questions also. Right, so question number one, they're asking the restaurant, what are the factors we'll need to take into account when deciding the restaurant chain? Okay, this one, I invite Lee Young again. Question number one, can you read the answer for this?
What factors will Abdullah need to take into account when deciding where to locate his seafood restaurant? Give two factors in your analysis. Service providers may have different location requirements to those of manufacturers. In this case, Abdullah is choosing a location for a seafood restaurant in Manama, Bahrain. For many service providers, proximity to their market is crucial. This is because many services are sold direct to their customers. For example, restaurants, cafes, shops, hair salons, taxis, and dry cleaners have to be located in towns and cities. This is where customers live and shop. In this case, Abdullah wants to target business customers working in the financial quarter of the city, so this would presumably influence his search for a location. For customers, suppliers, and employees, easy access and parking is becoming a serious issue. Traffic congestion is a growing problem in many parts of the world. Businesses need to choose locations where there is less chance of traffic congestion. It is particularly important for customers since they will quickly look for alternatives if they cannot.
Yeah, if they cannot actually park conveniently, no? Yeah.
Some services, some service businesses, particularly fast food providers, are developing drive-through facilities to avoid parking problems. In this case, Abdullah's potential customers, office workers, for example, may be within walking distance from his restaurant. This would be an advantage, but he also be keen to find a location where customers can park easily when arriving for a meal.
For a night out, yes, correct. Thank you. So the second question also, you can see why might the, what are the main, like the deliberately why he wanted to go with the competition. His competitors are there. A lot of people like to avoid the competition, but this case, Abdullah wanted to actually go in line with the competitors. So this case, you can see Abdullah is currently considering a location close to a number of other restaurants operate. So premises occupied by a recently failed restaurant have become available. But he's concerned about the competition in the area, right? Many entrepreneurs would share with this fear, right? And also, however, would contrast some business deliberately choose to locations where there is concentration in similar businesses. This might be important in industries where comparison shopping, this is a word you have to memorize. Comparison shopping is popular, right? Comparison shopping. Like it might be also be possible to catch the excess demand from the existing business, particularly if premises are located in a restaurant and entertainment area. Consequently, for these reasons, Abdullah may eventually decide to locate the seafood restaurant close to potential rivals, right? So this is the way that you are writing this question. Use the application. Always these questions can be different styles, right? Okay. Impact of the internet on location. This is the very important session, like impact of internet, because e-commerce is there now. Location, the physical locations, and we call that brick and mortar costs we can remove, avoid all the unnecessary physical costs like rent, electricity, water bill, right, and having so much of workers and customer care, everything we can avoid because of the internet facilities, right? So there are so many, right? Internet retailers are there, e-commerce retailers are there, like you can see Amazon, right, and also Alibaba, right, eBay, Daras.lk, Sri Lankan one, and also so many other websites are there. We can do online shopping. So not only that, sometimes other even online, you can see bookings.com, like a service, for example, for booking hotels and everything. We can book airlines and everything, ticketing, bookings, yeah, like a Find My Fare, like that. Different Trivago, for hotel, like price comparison websites are there. So there are certain things are there right now in internet. So many things are happening because especially it's boosted by this pandemic background. All internet business were actually now in a good times. It's like an emerging market in the world. So many business people like switching to the internet when shopping, rather than, because it is not an option, it is a mandatory. I think every business organization, you must have the physical location as well as internet. It is not optional. I think it is compulsory or mandatory thing to have your own website. That's why even myself also, we have created this, the YouTube channel, because as a teacher, also as a tutor, not physical classes, I think the internet is really important. It's mandatory or compulsory. Every business, for tutors, for lawyers, for engineers, right? Having online presence is really important. Then only you can cater a wide market with that. So online retailing, you can see the estimated in 2014-18, there's a huge successful growth is there. The development of online business, you can see right now, like the second richest person is the Amazon owner, right? Jeff Bezos. So first one is the owner of Tesla, Elon Musk. But he recently became that, but I think like a couple of months, Amazon on number one, Jeff Bezos is the number one richest person in the world from online retailing, right? So it's more flexible because it's sometimes home delivery providing, and then like not only this one, we can see the like location. No need to go to the restaurant nowadays because you have Uber Eats, Pick Me Eats, like that. I think so many, every country we have some online food delivery websites are there, right? Online pharmacies are there, online everything, right? If you want everything, I think you can find the online, right? Medical services, educational services, food and beverages. So it's everything actually. The customer may not need to go out. Everything is your doorstep right now if you have the internet. So and also business do not need to have the fixed premises. As the result of that, you can actually run their business from home anywhere in the world if you have the internet connection with your devices. And then an online business offering advice on personal investment and personal financial management could be located anywhere in the world, still have serve a global market. So everything actually a person, sometimes trainer, sometimes you can take your yoga classes online, you can take your gym sessions online, right? If you have the facilities, right? You can see the online, the growth in the online market from 2014 to 18, I think like this 3 years back. But right now in 2021, you can see there is a more demand and more income is there from online retailing. So the importance of the electronic data continues to grow. The business will require to get greater network speed and capacity in order to operate effectively. That's why the 3G to 4G, 4G to 5G, the speed and the network coverage is always is increasing, improving. And this giving a requirement to have made a connectivity in the major concerns. Like the office base is also now, people can work from home as a result of that because of the internet facility. No need to actually run an office. So all the office works, even schools, we can operate from home like doing right now. So this is the thing. So normally everything is possible with the internet right now. Connections are faster, and fast electronic communication links are there, right? And you're going to the final topics of this session, the legal controls. What are the influence on the legal controls and the trade blocks on location? When you're moving into the countries where the special legal concerns are there, because always so globalization always wanted to have like a global village concept, but in different countries there are certain rules and regulation, trade block, which prevent by the foreign firms entering, because leisurely you can't go to any country and you can start the business. You have to first of all take the approval. Like there are international exchange rate policies are there, Sometimes they're not allowed to actually, some your local country not allowing you, they're not given permission you to actually remit some certain amount of currency out of the boundary geographical location. Sometimes you have to take the some, really, you have to think about the religion. So you have to think about the geographical location. You have to think about the trade block location. Sometimes they're not allowing. So like that. So especially when the government of local national may try to influence the location decision in several reasons, right? Okay. Okay, Leon, can you read the several reasons, 5 reasons, can you read out?
To avoid congestion where there is already enough or too much development, this will reduce the strain on existing infrastructure such as roads, schools, and hospitals. Minimize the impact businesses might have on local communities. For example, most people would object if a business opened a noisy nightclub in a highly residential area, or if a large petrochemical company established a refinery in a national park. To encourage manufacturers to locate where unemployment is high, this will help to improve the distribution of jobs around the country. Government often use financial incentives to influence business choice of location. For example, the government can offer low tax rates, tax breaks, and low rents if they locate in areas preferred by the government, assisted areas. To attract foreign manufacturers into the country, many countries rely on inward investment to help create employment and work for domestic suppliers.
Okay, thank you. So these are the main five factors you can see. You try to, like a government should try to locate them to avoid the congestion, because everyone comes to only one location. For example, China, all the business want to locate in Shanghai. So Shanghai become more congested and more polluted. You can see right now also, you can see the carbon dioxide emission is very high in Shanghai. Therefore, the Chinese government want to do it because they want to avoid the congestion and environmental pollution. They want to spread these businesses in different states of provinces in China. Same thing in Vietnam, same thing in Indonesia, same thing in Sri Lanka. Every country they want to remove the congestion and everything. They want to make sure they want to infrastructure and everything. So they want to relocate the business in different parts of the country, and they can improve the infrastructure, roads, schools, hospitals as well. And sometimes some organization won't thinking about the impact on the local community, especially like if you open some kind of a petrochemical business, sometimes sound pollution, right, air pollution, this will be impact on the local community. Therefore, sometimes residential locations are not suitable for some organizations, so then establish in a different area, which is actually not impact on any social community. And third one, you can see they encourage manufacturing locate where unemployment is very high. Some areas are there, even in China and Vietnam also, unemployment are very high. So then encourage them to, okay, foreigners to go to those areas and start their businesses. And therefore, the government will, then always benefited by giving job opportunities, and the local community will get job opportunities in that particular area. And also other thing is assisted area. Some governments are there, you can see definition of assisted area. Yesterday we talked about the brownfield site, greenfield site definition, right? Brownfield means already used for some construction or development project. Greenfield site means you never use for the premises for anything. But assisted area means area where design designated by government and having economic problems, and they are targeted to receive support in a variety of forms, like assisted area. Sometimes they are giving some area, this is tax holidays to they want to invest like a lot of investors. So they are, for example, some certain areas of Sri Lanka also, you can see normally the poor areas are there. They need some assistance because the infrastructure is not there. The local resources are very low. Therefore, the government try to actually bring the like a foreign direct investment, and they want to improve that area. We call assisted area. To attract manufacturers into the country, many countries rely on inward investment to help create employment and work domestic supply. This is available. You can see the Indonesia, Philippines, right? China, Vietnam. This concept is there. They attract a lot of FDIs, right? So easiest way to control the location of business is to apply strict planning controls. So therefore, remember, like always, planning is really important, like consultation, right? Viability study, or sometimes we call feasibility study, is important before you obtain the planning permission. Then only they are given finally the permission. Before you start some kind of, let's say, a petrochemical industry or whatever industry, you must have the first of all go through the feasibility study from the government, like then only they will give you the permission, okay, whether this project is okay or not, whether this project actually destroy the biodiversity or not, whether this project actually it's actually have what is the environmental impact of this, right? Is there an impact on the birds, is there an impact on the biodiversity, right? Everything they are will go through regarding this consultation process. That's a legal controls inside. Yeah, after you can see we are going to come into the end of this chapter, the trade block situation. Trade blocks are there, right? Normal trade block is a group of countries situated in the same region and joined together to enjoy the free trade barriers. Some can see European Union, right? All that, all the 20 plus countries are there, 27 countries are there in the European Union. They're using one currency, euro, right? One banking system, right? No need of right visa to go here and there along these countries, right? That's why Brexit happened, British exit from European Union, because of the as a result of this, they are getting the benefit of European Union membership. So a lot of people try to migrate to UK. And you can see if we go to American side, we have a NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, right? NAFTA is there. And if you go to Asian countries, we have SAFTA, right? South Asian Association of Free Trade Union is there. SAARC is there. And also ASEAN is there, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Like there's so many trade blocks are there. That these lessons you will learn in future in advanced level as well. So these are the things: European Union, ASEAN. This is by being a member of this trade union, a trade bloc, you can have the tax benefits. So among these members, if you become a member of, let's say, European Union, so among European Union, no tax, no tariff. So therefore, if you locate strategically, let's say if you go to Germany and if you operate a factory, from German factory to all other countries, you can sell your items, sell your goods and services without any tariff. That's what, for example, Toyota, they have started the factory in UK, and then what happened from UK to they can send their vehicles to entire European Union, entire European countries without charging any import taxes. So like that, so they start Germany factories because of this. They have started factories in France because of this, because they can get the benefit of the being a member of European Union. They can access to all that 27 countries by locating in only one country. You can access to USA, Mexico, and Canada, right, by using the trade bloc of NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. So if you locate your business in Canada or Mexico, then you can easily access to USA and Mexico and Canada. That's the thing. So if you, that's a location distance is really important. Study about the trade blocks, then you can automatically avoid the tax barriers and everything. You can easily, you can do your business and you can sell without any taxes, import, export duties, without any problems. You can do your business. That's the main idea. Okay, so to summarize the lesson, you can see small business and large business, everyone, they have to actually think about these location factors, especially shops, solicitors, taxi operators, accountants, gardening services, small business are located to where the owners are live. And it's you can see because the business, many small businesses local markets, and they owners are not likely to want to travel very far. That's the thing, right? They always want to locate their business where they live, always as a result of that, because they don't want to travel for so far. However, as business grow, they like to attach increasing amount of imports of like proximity to labor materials. Large business have looked more aggressively about the minimizing the cost of land and other resources, right? Since they will be using much larger quantities. For example, they may be considered locating overseas if resources are cheaper. So I call relocation decisions they are taking as a result of that. Okay. Let's go to MCQ questions, and after that we'll wind up the session. So first question: an area of ground, right? What was once used to the urban development, we use this thing. But if used once for the urban development, we call A, brownfield site, B, enterprise zone, C, science park, D, greenfield site. So you can use a chat line to communicate. So I can see a couple of answers are there. Yes, your answers are correct. Correct answer is a once used for urban development, we call answer is A, brownfield site. Brownfield site. Second question: which of the following factors is likely to be the most important when choosing a location for a supermarket? Supermarket: A, proximity to supplier, B, low cost land, C, exchange rate, D, energy cost. Yes, the answer is correct. Yes, Tala gave the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Proximity to supplier, so it's important. Question number 3: which of the following business is likely to have an most choice when deciding upon a suitable location based on their operations. Which of the following business is likely to have on the most choice when deciding upon the suitable location based on the operation? Coal burning power station, B, diamond mine, C, high street fashion retailer, D, an online tutor service. So more suitability, more flexibility is there. I think you can see, I can see a couple of answers there. Chat line also. Yes, more suitability is there with the question. Question number 3, answer is D, online tutoring service. Online tutoring service is the correct answer. Right. Last question. Which of the following is likely reason for manufacturer to relocate if the business? Right. Why they wanted to relocate their business to one country to another country? A, to provide space for expansion. B, to set up an online operation. C, to avoid higher interest payment, to avoid having to market these products. Okay, I got, yeah, correct answers. Answer is A. Yeah, Ritu gave the correct answer. Yes, very good. A is the correct answer, to provide space for expansion. So these are the main advantages of MCQ questions also. Today we discuss about the mainly the location decision, mainly factors like legal controls we talk about finally. We talk about the online operations, impact of internet on location. Activity 2 we discuss, and we talk about the nature of the businesses like service business, office-based business, manufacturing business, and agriculture-based business. And also we talk about the activity 1, Renault, and also we talk about mainly the all factors which decide by the businessman when locating, such as proximity to material, proximity to market, proximity to labor, and proximity to competitors, these factors. Okay, so this is the business location decision. Business location questions can become for a 12-mark question, 6-mark questions, and 3-mark questions, and defined questions. There's a this one has a more potential in the IGCSE. So business location is very crucial location chapter. And also for a businessman also, this is very practical knowledge. So when you are doing this lesson, think that you are one day using this knowledge, one day when you are starting a business, this knowledge you can use in your for a business. So not only for the examination, there's a future benefits also there. So when you're reading this chapter, read with that idea. Okay. From them I'm going to wind up my today's session, guys.